Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about right to medical records under Mental Health Care Act of 2017. I am Dr. Suresh Padadmat, Professor of Psychiatry, working at NIMANS, Bangalore. Before I start my presentation, I would like to place a disclaimer. This presentation is for academic and training purpose only. This is not a substitute for professional legal opinion. If you want to have a legal opinion, please do contact an advocate. Conflict of interest? None. Today we are going to discuss about right to basic medical records under Mental Health Care Act of 2017. This legislation received President assent on 7th of April 2017. According to the Mental Health Care Act of 2017, Section 25 clearly says that all persons with mental illness shall have the right to access for basic medical record. However, the mental health professionals can withhold the information under two circumstances. One, releasing that information can cause serious mental harm to the person with mental illness or likelihood of harm to other person. Under these two circumstances, mental health professionals can withhold information. When any information in the medical record is withholded from the person, the mental health professional shall inform the person with mental illness that they can have a right to apply to the medical review board for releasing of information from the mental health professional. So, the right to apply is there to person with mental illness, that is, the appellate body is Mental Health Review Board. Now the question is, how to apply for the medical records? The medical records can be applied by person with mental illness in Form A. The Form A looks like this. Here, a person with mental illness should fill the form and apply to the mental health establishment to release his basic medical records. If he has taken only outpatient department treatment, so he will get the outpatient records. If he had been admitted in the ward, then he is going to get inpatient records, which will be detailed, which has name, date, patient's name, family member, father's name, age, gender, address, patient was accompanied by anybody, hospital registration, identification mark, NR, whether there was advance directive or not, if he is admitted under which section he was admitted, chief complaints, mode of admission, summary of medical examination, chief complaints, diagnosis, treatment, and follow-up. All those information will be provided to the person with mental illness. If the person has undergone psychological assessment, there is a basic medical record for that also. That is, Form A3 is the one which they have to use. This is how the report of psychological assessment will be given. If he had undergone therapy, so even for therapy report, basic medical record is made available. This is how the basic medical record should be given to the person. And this is for each session. If he had undergone 20 sessions, so 20 of these reports will be given to person with mental illness. It is not the summary of the session. It is each session will be given. Hence it is called as therapist session notes. So for each session, it will be recorded and it will be stored. Whenever the patient requests for that, the therapy session notes should be given to person with mental illness. Let's understand right to information. Till now we discussed about right to medical record. So what is the difference? So right to information means a person with mental illness and his nominated representative shall have a right to following information. The information will be with regard to admission. Under what circumstances he is admitted, under what section he is admitted, and what are the criteria he has been considered for admission, whether it is section 89, section 86. So those criteria and also what are those criteria is fulfilled has to be told to the person with mental illness or to the NR. The NR and the person with mental illness can apply for review board for review of the admission. Not only that, the person with mental illness and NR also has the right to know the diagnosis, the treatment plan, the side effect of the treatment, and also the alternative treatment. Further, they need to receive the information in which the language of the person with mental illness or the NR. It is not the technical language or the mental health professional's language. Further, in case complete information cannot be provided to the person with mental illness at the time of the admission or during the start of the treatment, it shall be the duty of the medical officer or the psychiatrist in charge of the person's care to ensure that full information is provided promptly when the patient is in a position to receive it, or else it has to be given to the NR. That means the person with mental illness or the NR will get all these information either when he becomes improved, or else if he is not improved, the NR will receive the information. At the same time, you should remember there is something called as right to confidentiality, section 23. Under this, a person with mental illness shall have the right to confidentiality with respect to mental health care, treatment and physical health care. That means diagnosis, treatment, including physical health care. All these information should be kept confidential. Who has to keep this confidential? All healthcare professionals providing care or treatment to a person with mental illness shall have a duty to keep such information confidential which has been obtained during the care or treatment, with following exceptions. That means these are the exceptions they can release information. 1. Release of information to the NR for taking his decision under this act. 2nd. Release of information to the mental health professional and or other health professional to ensure them to provide care to the treatment of person with mental illness. 3rd. Release of information if it is necessary to protect any other person from harm or violence. Only such information that is necessary to protect against the harm identified shall be released. Release only such information as it is necessary to prevent the threat to life. Release of information upon an order by the concerned board, central authority, High Court, Supreme Court, or any other statutory authority competent to do so. And finally, release of information in the interest of public safety and security. At the same time, there is section 24, restriction on release of information in respect of mental illness. No photograph or any other information regarding the person with mental illness undergoing treatment at a mental health establishment shall not be released to the media without the consent of the person with mental illness, and the right to confidentiality of the person with mental illness shall apply to the information stored in either physical form or in the electronic format. So, my dear friends, never release any information to any person without taking consent from the persons with mental illness or with the NR. To conclude, my dear friends, mental health professionals need to balance between right to basic medical records and providing information. And you should know whom to provide, when to provide, how much to provide. At the same time, you need to keep right to confidentiality very, very securely, because person with mental illness needs to feel secure during the treatment process. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time. Stay safe.